are seeing the North coming out to bring Jonathan as a candidate that they are going to support come the next election. Probably it's going to do 4 years. Then before they get it, Northerners are tired of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
So quick, they are tired of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Very unfortunate. The northern Nigeria playing another game, showing another sign of coming up with something to intimidate and manipulate the South. They not seem to understand the South very well, and they know what to do at every particular time. I know when they wanted to bring Jonathan down, they sent this particular Rufai to Babajide Fashola as at that time. You know, Fashola now brought in Tinubu into the picture, and before you know it, they ignited something through the governor's forum, and that was what led to the downfall of Jonathan. They have come again today now, you know. Instead of being positive, instead of thinking beyond, you know, this issue of power must always be in the north is a threat. I'm not ruling out British government interest in all this, because it looks like before you can be able to become president of Nigeria, you have to go to Chatham House. There must be something the media need to tell us our relationship in Chatham House. Did they normally go there to renew the hatred against the Igbos, to still sign that document that transferred hatred to the Igbos? That's where they normally go. That's why they normally go to renew it. Because I do not see the reason why we don't see it happen anywhere. Somebody from Russia that want to become president, you need to go to you need to go to Chatham House. Somebody from Ghana, before you became president, you go to somebody from Togo, before you become president, you go to Chatham House. What is inside that Chatham House in London that every Nigerian president have to visit before you become president? They go there to renew documents, to continue to transfer hatred to Igbos, to continue to marginalize Igbos, that nobody, but their plans over the years has failed. Yeah, see, yes, because we must understand that the real thing is that the Africanism that was championed by the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, Herbert Macaulay, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the Njoko of those days, Nwachukwu them, a lot of them like that championed colonial rule in Africa, that led to the issue that we have from Aba Women Riot, that was very prominent and outstanding against colonialism in Nigeria and in Africa. The British government have never forgiven an Igbo man for standing up against colonization till today. How are we going to go about that? How are we going to continue? Now, the North, in their sensibilities, in their reasoning and philosophy, as a northern Nigeria, they came up with an ideology that the same hatred, the same thing, we are seeing it very clearly now played out seamlessly. They come out boldly to tell the whole world that Tinubu, as if they are the owners of Nigeria, that Tinubu will only that Tinubu will only do one term, and the only favor they can do to the Southerners is to pick another Southern president. It tells you that the Southern Nigeria is a dump site of excesses of the Northern Nigeria.
Do you think Jonathan is a viable candidate?
I'm not talking about, I'm looking at, in the first place, do they supposed to be thinking about Jonathan? Jonathan, by the reason of geopolitical zones in the country, Jonathan is not an Igbo man. Jonathan comes from the south, even though the entire eastern region, yes, you can say the Igbo is the umbrella that houses both Jonathan and the rest of them and other ethnic nationalities there. But based on Nigerian political calculation, Jonathan is not an Igbo man. Jonathan belongs to the south. Jonathan has been president before, and the constitution does not allow you to take an oath of office more than 2 times. That's what the Nigerian constitution says. How are they going to battle that at the end of the day, trying to bring Jonathan to take the third oath of office to enable him become the president of Nigeria? I don't know what the North tend to achieve by heating up the polity this early. But of course, we know that the political calculation, the underground planning has commenced. Aligning and realigning of the Nigerian political factor is already on the move. It's already on motion. We have seen Atiku Abubakar, we have seen Rufai, we have seen some other big boys politically from the north, coming together under the umbrella of marriage. That marriage you are seeing them gathering means a lot of things. That there's going to be a coalition.
Under the umbrella of marriage.
Yes!
Marriage ceremony.
You don't know how the north operate. That little gathering you saw there is that they want to bring all the political parties, actors together and begin to champion how they are going to dethrone. Unfortunately, Tinubu is a disappointment. There's no two ways about it. I would agree with them on that regard. But I will not agree with the northern Nigeria of this longer throat for power always. I will not agree. I will not accept that. But Jonathan, looking at Jonathan, the Jonathan factor 2027 is going to take us back to the consequences of independence, to the consequences of amalgamation, to the consequences of marginalization, to the consequences of Nigeria not ready yet to be a nation. That will also take us to another direction where the possibility of balkanizing Nigeria, either by hook or crook, become very prominent, significant. That means Nigeria might not likely see end of 2027 at the end of the day. If there's an attempt to deny the Igbo race the presidency.
Igbo or Tinubu returning as.
No, bros, let me tell you, Tinubu is completely a write-off when it comes to northern equation now, completely. Tinubu is nowhere to be found. What Tinubu is preparing for is that if he didn't get it, he will destroy Nigeria. Everybody will go on their own. He's ready for that. And you can see the recent appointment he's making now. He has installed, not even appointing, he has installed the CGN. He has everything you are saying is by installment, not even appointment. So he has gone beyond the era of appointment. What he's doing now is installing all these men in position of authority. IG, Yoruba. Custom, Yoruba. Chief of Staff, Yoruba. Everywhere, Yoruba. Asurok, Yoruba. Everywhere. The only person that is remaining now is the INEC chairman. And immediately he removes Yakubu Mahmood there, the next person that is going to install there is a Yoruba man. So he's also preparing for the fight with the North very clearly. He knows what is already on ground. The campaign that is a one-time president, they already started singing it in Hausa language. So he's going to prepare, you understand, because if they threaten him so much, he will unleash Nnamdi Kanu on them. Everybody will now begin to sit up properly. So I think to an extent, he's trying to be calculative, politically, not even. See, Tinubu is not focusing on trying to revamp the economy or trying to do something that will make the economy to pick up again. Tinubu is not interested. What he's interested now is how he's going to sit down there as the petroleum minister for complete 8 years, siphon all the resources belonging to Nigeria, put it in his pocket, buy all the oil heads, refine whatever, all the money, because he told them very clearly that this Yakubu Mahmood has become a threat to him. I told you, these people has become a threat to him. And if you watch him and it looks as if the North is going to, it's not as if he's going to behave like Jonathan. This man does not look like somebody who's going to behave like Jonathan. Not Jonathan, even on the point of at gunpoint, he was still smiling. No, yes, now he was asking Buhari how was the election. Buhari didn't even reply, talk to him. When they're at that level, they say, how the election now? Buhari just look at him, say, this guy, he don't know what you're doing. Forget later, Buhari was carrying him from one kitchen to another, from one bedroom to another. They were just making mockery of him. So Tinubu should sit up and know that this thing now is going to become, you know, a game between him and the entire North that voted for him. They not voted for him. They know why they brought him. They shouldn't complain. But bringing
under 1 year. Why is
bros,
it not?
what is under 1 year? Tinubu by next year now they are preparing. The electioneering will start. Aligning, realigning politically. We start from next year. How many months now to next year? I think it's too early. You saw P2B, you saw Lamido, you saw Atiku. They've already held a sectional, a meeting in one corner of the Asu Rock there where they agree on certain things. And so many factors. You can see any moment from now, you see politicians decamping. Yes. And from the look of things, if they become a serious threat to Tinubu, Tinubu must do something. That's the fact. And Tinubu, that's what I'm saying, that Tinubu want to use the release of Nnamdi Kanu to negotiate Eastern votes. In case the North might likely work against him at the end of the day. Because it looks like the North is definitely going to work against him. Because they said that we are still going to pick a Southern president, not a Northern president. So what that means is that they are in support of having a Southern president, but not this man that we are seeing today.
We all know that after a Southern president, the next will be the North. Why can't the North wait for Tinubu to finish his tenure?
Oga, yes, if Tinubu has shown sign of leadership, it would have been something that some people might like to contest. But as it stands now, if this present economic hardship continues, Tinubu will be shown the way out. As I'm talking to you now, there's underground move to impeach
The president.
the Senate. No, you see, that Senate, it's a problem. The North has to target the Senate first. After targeting the Senate, they will now position themselves and look at a Miloko, how he come to that position of the presidency first. That will be another factor. So unless Tinubu begin to sit up and begin to do some certain things that can, there is hunger everywhere. Hunger, you don't know what I mean by hunger. The Northerners are feeling it. The rich men in the North, the rich men in the South, their bags, pockets are becoming empty under this economy. Nigeria is running down on daily basis under this economy. Our properties, both home and abroad, are being confiscated by foreign companies, by foreign nations. Recently, they seized our properties in Liverpool. They are still seizing our private jets up and down. And unfortunately, when you see Tinubu at the international conferences, nobody wants to associate with him because they don't understand him.
But this should be enough reason for the Senate to impeach him now.
That's what I'm saying, that unfortunately, this man they call Godswill Akpabio is a corrupt and the worst Senate president in the history of Nigeria. And that was why a lot of deep think tanks from the North and from the South and from the East are rooting for Obi Saraki 2027. Peter Obi Saraki 2027, because I think Dati Ahmed
P2B will join the PDP.
Oga, let me tell you, at the end of the day, whether there's a kind of agreement between Labour and PDP and other, because as I'm talking to you now, there's a relationship that's been built on the ground now by P2B and New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. Currently now, as a few days ago, the Kwankwaso and the Obis, had a close contact. We don't know the level of the outcome of that contact, but I think a lot of people believe it is in connection with the coalition, of a mega movement that is coming, that is going to power these two powerful figures who have shown character and competence over the years. Bro, let Nigeria try these two people, P2B, Saraki, 2027. Because, see, we need somebody who is a bit, radicalized in terms of, politics to come from that acid to power Obi, who is already controlling over 7 million votes. Not to Jonathan. The North should withdraw that state. It's an embarrassment. They should stop embarrassing themselves politically. In as much I do not want to subscribe to Tinubu's second term ambition because it's completely a disappointment. But I will not give in that Tinubu should come back second term and rule Nigeria. It will be a disaster completely. Whatever he has achieved now, let it be that it was the mistake of the North to have in the first place brought him in a position of authority. We should be thinking beyond that, and the North should. Why is it? What is the fear about an Igbo man becoming president in Nigeria, in this country? What is it? They still want to hold onto a Chatham agreement, Chatham House agreement, British Empire agreement, what they have given to them 1900, how many centuries ago, how many years ago? The document the Northerners and the Yoruba signed against Igbos, that's what they have been using up to now. Then we are not qualified to be a nation. We are not qualified to even say we are Nigerians. We are not even qualified that to be part of civility and humanity.
My last question. In all of this, you see Tinubu losing 2027 election.
He will lose.
In all of this, you see Jagaban losing 2027
Bro,
election.
if you mention the word Jagaban, that Jagaban has failed. You know what you mean by Jagaban? It would have Jagaban the economy. It would have Jagaban the sectors. It would have Jagaban the borders. It would have also Jagaban Boko Haram at the end of the day. You would have Jagaban, things by now should have been seen dividends of, democracy. You are a Miloko. And when you say a Miloko, it's not a political concept. But if you look at it from the other way now, you are like telling the whole world that it is your turn to transform Nigeria. When you say it is your turn, that means you have something better to do to give to Nigerians. That should be the meaning of Emiloko. That means it is your turn to bring something better on the table. It is your turn to transform Nigeria. It's your turn to give Nigeria electricity. It's your turn to give Nigeria food. It's your turn. Nigeria does not have this thing. It's your turn to do this. But unfortunately, is that the meaning of Emiloko? So, that concept, that philosophy has already failed politically. And we are not seeing any indices pointing towards a direction that there is hope somewhere along the line. So, Tinubu for me is a no-go area, completely right off. But let me tell you, the North should not continue in that direction. They should understand that if they continue to see Igbo man as a threat, Igbo man will see Nigeria as a threat.
Thank you very much. God bless.